sound. Friday sales here. Paste that there. Morning, Wendy. Message. Boom. Okay. Morning, everybody. That was enough. That was like less than 30 seconds. I get to paste something up there. You get to hear a little bit of the song, but Black Friday deals are active. This one shocked me. How good it is. $574. It's over $200. 20%. $225 savings. So, yeah. Today is going to be about, hey, if you don't like sales, you won't like this show, because it's going to be of course, I'm going to give you some stocks. Of course, I'm going to give you my view on things. Of course, I'm going to give you a view on everything. But in fact, you know, I'm live tomorrow on Trendspider's channel, and I wanted to core investments, AMAT. Oh, look at that. Applied materials. Let's see. Let me go to Perplexity and say Perplexity. We'll go over to the finance tab over here, and we're going to say, I have Trendspider Sidekick AI, and I want to prompt it to look at AMAT earnings tomorrow. Can you help me come up with a prompt that will allow Sidekick to look at the stock chart, the fundamentals, the past earnings reactions, and everything I need to know about tomorrow's earnings risks and potential rewards. Okay, boom. It'll be Monday the 17th, Carrie. There we go. Let's see if this works. Analyze AMAT ahead of earnings tomorrow. Scan the daily and weekly chart for trend direction, key support resistance levels, volume shifts. Summarize the fundamentals, including recent revenue, EPS. Oh, this is good. This is a good prompt. Let's see if Sidekick works like this. Because I honestly, God, I'm not an expert in Sidekick. I'm not an expert. We're going to use... Simon the data dude, and we're gonna do Claude 4.5, and we're gonna put that in, and let's see what happens. Thinking. Alpha pick will always be the 15th or later, not before. So fetching the data, SEC filings. I mean, again, I try not to. Trendspider has told me, hey, you can always ask us for more Sidekick messages if you want. And by the way, if you get a bad answer or something, ask them, say, hey, I got a bad answer on this one. Can you look at it? They've trained it. It uses everybody's questions as training. It's trained only on Trendspider data, so it should provide, and I haven't had it provide me a bad, you can see in the previous 30 days, I've only used 3. I think there were a couple of things in there, but I've tried it out with my thesis on stuff and everything like that. It's really good. That one, I had one subscriber who tried it, Chris, and made a fortune on a quantum stock. Said it worked perfectly on a quantum stock. That's and I'm bringing it up today. This was like, God, right after it came out. Remember, they did like the turtle strategy, and then they did a bunch. But technical analysis. Trend, upward trend. Let's just see. Let's go to the daily. That 213, I think, is mine. Trend, uptrend established since September low of 156. Wow. Look at that. September, look at that pullback on September. Key resistance 241. 242 October 30th high. 250 analyst targets. Key support 223 to 225 November 7th low. Tested today. Consolidation zone. Breakout area. Current position testing at 228. Weekly chart. Trend. Let's go to the weekly. And it tells you trend strong, uptrend from August. Yeah, we'll use this one. Let's just share this. Copy link. And then we'll go over here and we'll do this. Wow. Bearish engulfing plus large red candle. Doji indecisive at support. Fundamental metrics. Q4 2025 estimates, past 4 quarters, earnings histories, price reaction -11, -14, sold off, then recovered, initial pop, then faded. Key pattern, consistently beats estimates, but sells off post earnings despite beats. That's key. Key point. Sidekick raised. Bearish flow pattern dominates. Wow. I mean, this is such good information. How do I share this? I don't think I can share this though. Let me see. Oh, I haven't used it for that, Chris. But this is such good information. I mean, I wonder if I can. Oh, copy to clipboard. Let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, I'll just put that in the newsletter then. It did not give me the chart. Huh. That's going to be a full analysis, so why the hell not? I mean, again, it's such a great tool. I mean, it's just more than Larry. I mean, just based on AMAT heads into earnings with mixed technical setup, strong uptrend. Oh, come on. Why am I stuck in that hole? Larry. Fundamentals remain solid, 48% gross margin, 31%. But the stock has punished holders post earnings. Now, let's take that and let's go. Let me go over to here. And let's copy. And let's paste this into Seeking Alpha. Let's see. I mean, I listen. I've got both tools. Why don't I do it for both? Let's see what happens. It's a good mix. A good test. I can't provide technical chart analysis, options flow data, or predict price reactions to earnings events. However, I can provide applied to current fundamentals, recent analyst perspective, and key themes heading into tomorrow's earnings. This gives you even more, like specifics on major risks, key upside drivers, analyst sentiment overview, hold neutral, cite high valuations, spike guidance, buy bearish, emphasize AMZN's leadership, risk reward. Well, I cannot provide a specific risk reward assessment for this earnings event. Key considerate visibility into explore further. Can you tell me the past reaction to earnings the last 4 quarters? What was the stock reaction? And again, this kind of highlights the difference between and this is part of Seeking Alpha Pro, so it's not something that the majority of people would have access to, because you have the bundle. This is the pro level. The pro level just got knocked down from 2,400 to 1,900, but that's a lot for most people, I would say. This would be the sweet spot, and this would be where I would subscribe for $574 instead of $1,900. I think I can make $574 off of the alpha picks and the bundle. I mean, that's a no-brainer for me. Just from alpha picks, I can make $574. And by the way, alpha picks is $400, so it's $399. So you're only paying a couple $100 for it. Makes no sense. And this is the whole page, by the way. Alpha Picks, this is a great service for a long-term investor like me. Thanks to Alpha Picks. Claim your subscription, blah, blah, blah. 2 stocks per month, research reports, alerts if rating shifts, in-depth analysis, unlimited, blah, blah. Yeah, I my problem, Brad, it's funny because I won't ask Trendspider for more sidekick things because I want to stay authentic. I want to stay within that 25 that most people will have. My problem with Seeking Alpha is I don't know what the pro level gives me versus, and I rely mostly on listeners' feedback. And so, again, I think you can get a lot of this stuff from the premium level, but yeah, it does, and this one doesn't seem to give reaction like Sidekick does. Huh. Interesting. Well, I'll do them both. So, I think that's a good thing. So, hey, Sir Ryan. I don't use, and full disclosure, I don't use Sidekick or Seeking Alpha enough. I use Perplexity way more just because that's become kind of my workflow, if you will. And while I love it, I think it's fantastic. Let's pull this up. Okay. I'm going to give you thesis on NVIDIA and why SoftBank sold and why you shouldn't be worried about it. I am also going to give you a thesis on Apple. I will give you a thesis on crypto. This, I think, outlines that we're still early. The post is, oh no, it's not unavailable. Okay. I don't think that Burry was early in 2007. So just so you know, there's that one. I got this letter from the Seeking Alpha CEO. Yeah. And Brad, I try not to be, listen, of that $1,900 versus $500, Seeking Alpha as an affiliate pays me a shit ton more on the $1,900. But I think if you want it, go and get it. But for me, I kind of show this, and I can't show these areas. They've already told me you can't show these areas. But of these areas, I use the ProQuant portfolio because that's the best area to actually find the next alpha pick. So when I'm trying, if I come on Friday or on Monday when we're going to get a new alpha pick, and I come on Friday and I say, it's probably one of these, you can kind of guess that maybe it's in the ProQuant portfolio, but it's probably coming from these two, the top quant market. So I don't view that one, unless you're going to trade the ProQuant portfolio. I don't view this one as any different, the top quant stock by market cap. And the one that you can't get is the upgrades and downgrades. And that is showing you, hey, last night when the quant ran against real-time data in the market, including earnings updates and all of that stuff, when that ran, stocks were upgraded or downgraded, and it gives you a list, and sometimes that list is fantastic. And I've taken a couple of trades on that list, and it's worked out really well for recent upgrades. Now, have I made back the $1,900? Probably, but I'm probably trading with significantly more than most people. So, and that's the way. Again, I feel like I've got enough money that $1,900 is not going to change my life. I still am a guy that went to Costco yesterday, and there was a difference between kitchen towels. There was one for, I think, $12 and one for $17. Both had the same amount of things. The $12 ones seemed a little cheap, and I'm like, $5. They're going to wear out anyway. Why am I buying the more expensive ones? I wound up spending the extra $5. So I'm still that guy, but I've got enough money that it shouldn't make a difference. I did go to Costco yesterday for freaking, don't tell me, by the way, and I texted this to my friend, Costco valuation. It is 45 times forward earnings. It's 50 times earnings right now. Okay. Don't tell me that I go into Costco for a pair of socks and come out with $180 receipt of every freaking free food sample they gave me. I wound up buying the food because it was so good. So don't tell me that that's not, their growth at 8%. I just added to that. Daisy, stop. Maya, I don't know if she's out there. She was going to go to the gym. But okay, so I got that letter from a Seeking Alpha guy. And yeah, I would consider upgrading as well, but I think honestly, Brad, from a guy who, if you got enough money and it doesn't make a difference and you want it, go and get it. I would tell you the sweet spot for me is still the bundle. It's this, and you can get the bundle. When you can get the bundle for $570, again, I point this out, $574, okay, for the bundle. Hold on one second. I got to turn off AI so it doesn't follow me around. What do you want? Did she take your bet? What is it? What is it? You could get under there. Okay, both of you get under there. Both of you. I should have had you turn around. I should have had the camera follow me so you could see exactly what the hell was going on here. But I'll point this out, and I'll point this out during the episode as well. The reality of $574 and then say $41 a month. You know, you don't want to get the $64 one. But between the two, it's like $1,000. And that's where I was, you know, before I was like, okay, $1,000, that's nothing. I mean, I made a couple $1,000 just on a trade yesterday. So, and I used both tools. Oh, this one. Bonus podcast. There we go. This is the paid newsletter subscribers. Oh. Did I need it? Yeah. We'll leave it in there. Why not? I think I've got it in there both. AMD, I mean, new analyst reports. AMD's a killer stock. Trendspider store. If you've got Trendspider and you haven't explored the Trendspider store, I mean, it's amazing. Let's see, Mark Minaveri. If you don't know who he is, blah, blah, blah. CanSlim, who's one. Biggest stock movers in the market. Here's my portfolio returns. Okay. Costco hasn't been I mean, you know, to be perfectly honest, that's not a great stock chart for me. And it's broken down. You can see that green line right there. That is from a weekly chart, anchored, and it's broken down. That was anchored at 2024, it looks like. It's April 2020. Once it started, it you know, that's 2021. Even, you know, during the 2022 downturn, it traded kind of sideways during 2022 when interest rates were going up. So I don't view it as a crazy, you know, meme stock or anything, but it has traded sideways to down. Now you're under the 50-day. It took, let's see, it went back over, then it got back under. This is October 2022, and it stayed under for the most part until March. So you just had that cross. If this one, and again, 50 times forward earnings is a lot. But good God, I mean, that's a stock chart that doesn't look bad. And you're going in there and you're spending, you know, the 4-hour algorithm actually trades it really well. 52% win, average win 6%. In this kind of market, I'd say, hey, there's better opportunities out there. But, you know, buy and hold Costco. That's a stock that on the weekly, I mean, there's not too many stocks like this. Under the MACD's under its oscillator, the RSI's at 41, but it's expensive. I mean, that's the thing that you're gonna have to pay for. So sometimes you pay up for that stuff. QQQ. There's a BJ's and a Dick's incoming here in Atlantic. Yes, the town's name is Coming, and there's a Dick's and a BJ's right next door to each other. I'm offended. Okay. Let's start this mofo. I'm going to hit record. Good morning. It is Wednesday, November 12th. I am going to tell you the Black Friday sales are live. They are live for Seeking Alpha. Okay. The bundle, huge savings, $224 in savings. If you don't want the bundle, you can get Pro, which includes the Pro Quant portfolio. That one's marked down to under $2,000. But the reality is, I think this bundle is perfectly fine for most people. This is the sweet spot. Again, $574. It's the sweet spot. If you don't want that, get Seeking Alpha by itself. It's under, you doubled your savings from yesterday. It is under $400. And again, I make $400 most times by just buying the damn Alpha pick on the day that it went. Or if you just want premium, you can get premium 20% and get a free 7-day trial if you just want premium. But again, the sales are out there and Trendspider has their sales. So again, I'm going to go over all of this. It's all on Linktree, linktr.ee/daily stock pick. You got Trendspider, you got Seeking. The bundle is second. Those top two, that's the Gary bundle. I mean, honestly, for about $1,000, you can get Trendspider and Seeking Alpha and Alpha Picks all in one this Black Friday. It's huge. We're going to go over a lot today. We're going to go over my portfolio over the last 3 years. How did I do over the last 3 years? Because I've had these tools for 3 years. And so I've done really, really well. Trendspider. We're going to go over some of the other strategies in Trendspider. Miniveri. I don't even know. CanSlim, paid subscribers. I'm going to kind of go over some things that I've given paid subscribers over the years and some good things. Seeking Alpha Pro, I'll explain to you because I got a letter from the CEO of Seeking Alpha yesterday. How many stocks are in your portfolio? We will kind of look at that because you do need to know going into the end of the year, how much time, how much energy, many decisions are you going to buy the dip? That's the next one. And then we'll go over earnings. That stay tuned for, because at the end of this, there is a great little process that I went through, asking Sidekick and then asking Seek Alpha AI to look at AMAT earnings tomorrow. It came up with some interesting things. I thought that was a great little tool. But let's go over this. Again, just over $1,000, you get Trendspider. So Trendspider, say you go over here and it's not within your budget to pay $64 a month, which I think is crazy. Skip Chipotle a couple of days a week and it's to $64 a month. But you want the $41 a month. Okay, that's just about $500-600, somewhere in that neighborhood. And it gets you all the charts, all the stuff. You save so much time. And if you don't like charts and you don't want charts, again, the second part of this bundle is Seeking Alpha Premium and Alpha Picks, where you can do your own research and you get Alpha Picks portfolio. It provides you a pick on the 1st and a pick on the 15th. And I have made this $574 at least 6 times this year when I have traded live on the day that Alpha Picks actually makes their pick. We'll go over that in a little bit. But on the flip side, I don't want to say, hey, you're going to make this money, because maybe you won't. Maybe you won't. But here's what I can almost certainly guarantee you. Say the market takes a dive, okay? I've been going over in Trendspider the weekly and monthly charts, how these indicators indicate we may need a stock slide. If a stock that you own turns to a sell in the quant, okay, say you own the trading desk and you own, my dad owns the trading desk. I have begged him to sell this one because it's been a sell since it was it's got there around $70. It moved to a sell. Again, you're down at $44. So say a stock that you own moves to a sell, and say on the 4-hour algorithm, okay, we can look at the 4-hour algorithm, which I use constantly. And you can see we haven't had a winning trade in this one. So why do I want to stay in it? Again, if we have a downturn in the market, between those two tools, Trendspider with the 4-hour algorithm And then the bundle here with Seeking Alpha Premium and Alpha Picks, where you can add Alpha Picks, add to your winners and cut your losers. Again, I can't guarantee that a crash is, that when a crash is coming. I can guarantee you that an absolute crash is coming. Do you have the tools to help you identify when to pull back some of your investments, when to pull some risk off the market? Plus, these things save me so much time. I don't need to spend hours researching. And in fact, I was having my coffee this morning, 7 a.m. Trendspider emailed me my scans. I don't even need to do anything. They save me time. So between, again, the bundle and Trendspider, pick your poison, whichever one you want. Just make sure you use my links because they get you the best offers. And in fact, if you don't use my link for Trendspider, you don't get the 4-hour algorithm. So let's go over kind of, I've had these tools. I think I've had both of them since 2022. And so 3 years in the market, how have I done? This is an actual screenshot of my Fidelity, okay? I don't need to prove it to you. I had some douchebag ask me, what's the beta? I didn't even know what fucking beta was. I don't have the time to figure out the beta on my portfolio. Not something I'm interested in. This is just a screenshot. My return over the last 3 years from November 11, 2022 to November 10th, 2025, 88%. Now, the S&P is up 80%. Is that 8% worth the $1,000 that I spend on these tools? Absolutely. To me, yeah. You can look. The S&P is actually the leader there, and I'm beating it by 8%. Now, is that a great? There is a big difference between managing a trading position, okay, and managing a multi-million-dollar portfolio. That's it. I started as an affiliate with Seeking Alpha and Trendspider 3 years ago. I had a history of beating the S&P for over 40 years, 25 years for sure, because I've kept track records there. The tools made me a much better investor and trader. And I think that's the key. It's not about buy this stock now service that you can pay for from some people that may get you 100% in this market. It's about making sure you're comfortable with what you own because we all have different risk tolerances. So again, that's the difference. One of the biggest reasons I have that outperformance is Trendspider. It's my 4-hour algorithm. I tell you, since 2020, since I built that thing, it's really been a game changer. And you can get Trendspider. Let me see. What was one thing? Oh, CanSlim. So CanSlim is one of the tools in Trendspider. This is one of the strategies in Trendspider. My 4-hour algorithm isn't the only one. It works for me. But there are so many other tools in Trendspider. And CanSlim just came up with Robinhood. It came up with LRCX. It came up with Monster Energy. It came up with INCY. It came up with, by the way, just insider information. This is one that I bought right before that big pump. Las Vegas Sands, IBKR. Again, you can learn more about CanSlim right there. Or even the Minervini strategy. And you may not know who Mark Minervini is. Mark Minervini is an accomplished stock trader, 2-time U.S. investing champion, author of several books on investing. Key aspects of his work: SEPA methodology. I don't even know what that is. Market timing, risk management, 4-stage price cycle, books, and other ventures. I just Googled that. I put it into Perplexity. I'll put it in the newsletter. But again, you can get this strategy and import it. It's a proven strategy. And look, it's free. Put it into your Trendspider setup. So you can get a 2-week trial of Trendspider for $5. Put in the Minervini strategy. Or go over to the Trendspider store. To Trendspider store, you can see on sale 53, strategy 74, scanners 171, indicators 319. You can get these by just downloading them into your setup. So again, if you're not ready to make a commitment for a year, try out some of these strategies. Shoot, here's the thing. And say you get to these things and you don't even know what they are. That's where this comes into play. Okay, you get 52 trainings per year here on the left for $64. Here's the calculation. Okay, 64 times 12. Go and figure that out. And then divide that by 52. That's how much you're paying for the training classes alone. Then you get Trendspider for free. And you can go over to this store and say, okay, help me find a strategy that works for a stock that I like. And if you don't have any specific questions or want something special done, I'll be live with Mike tomorrow on their Trendspider. Join me live at 3:45. Ask questions. Say, hey, I want to find out this strategy. Can you help me? Because we're going to be going over applied materials tomorrow. And at the end of this, I'm going to go over applied materials and show you exactly what Trendspider and Seeking Alpha can do. Okay? And we got the biggest movers today. AMD is one. I've been saying for the last few weeks, maybe a month since I bought AMD, I think AMD outpaces NVIDIA. We saw NVIDIA down yesterday. AMD had their investor day. And Lisa Su made some news. She sees the AI data market reaching $1 trillion by 2030, double AMD's prior estimate. AMD expects gross profit margins of 55 to 58%. It's up 6% in pre-market. Again, up 6% in pre-market. Well, Trendspider, they asked Sidekick to give them a analyst day, did not disappoint. Here's your list, 3 to 5 year targets. Revenue CAGR up 35%, data center $100 billion, custom chips, PC and gaming, market outlook, boom. Again, Sidekick, their AI tool, you could have asked it to analyze that, and boom. And what happened this morning? All of a sudden, Sidekick says, hey, we just got new updates. You can say, hey, give me any analyst updates from any stock in my watch list. Boom. What's the target for AMD? Rosenblatt, $300. Mizuho, $285. Evercore, $283. Morgan Stanley, $260. Let's go look at where AMD is trading. Well, if you had my 4-hour algorithm, you bought at 160, got you out with a 42% gain. I can tell you, as we start to move up, this starts to be support right there at 227. You can go into Sidekick and say, hey, find me support on this 4-hour algorithm. And it will find you support and resistance. Again, AMD, I think, outperforms. The CEO said the AI market is faster than anything we've seen before. I like AMD. And again, I use Seeking Alpha, and I go over here to charting, and I select metrics. And we're going to go to performance, and we're going to go to total return. And I want to know over the next year, does AMD outperform NVIDIA? And I constantly look at this. And we can look at it over the last month since I bought it. You bet. AMD is up 6%. NVIDIA is only up 1%. Okay, over the last 5 days, NVIDIA has outperformed. But again, you go 6 months and look at AMD. You go year to date, look at AMD. You go 1 year, look at AMD. Again, a $4 trillion company versus AMD, which is $386 billion. Bottom line, I'm bullish on AMD, and it's a good thing. So I bought a stock yesterday. Okay, dailystockpick.substack.com. I kind of update the chat every now and then with stocks, but I bought a stock yesterday, and I put it into Savvy Trader. So paid newsletter subscribers get access to all my Savvy Trader trades. The reason I use Savvy Trader, there's no manipulation. I can't manipulate the price at all. And here's the trading portfolio. So you know, it's the 2025 trading portfolio. It's up 124% since it started. This was 2024. The S&P during that time's up 52%. You go over to Savvy Trader, you can go and look at it. But I put in yesterday the stock that I bought in there. How did I find the stock? I found it on Twitter. Not a paid tool. I didn't find it on Seeking Alpha. I've gone over it on this podcast many times. How do I evaluate if the stock is a trade or an investment? I use Seeking Alpha Premium. Again, the tool that I've told you to get. How did I know when to buy the stock? I used the 4-hour algorithm in Trendspider. I set an alert. Boom, it gave me an alert. I bought it. What's my upside and downside on the market? I've journaled it in my own journal. I don't tell you that, but I tell you to do it. That trade alone yesterday, had I sold it today, would have made me the yearly subscription of the newsletter for 5 years. Again, 5 years, if you're paying attention, 5 years of the paid newsletter would have paid for Trendspider and Seeking Alpha bundle. It would have paid for all of that. But it's risky. It is risky. And I also sold out. Remember, you don't have to be a paid subscriber or follow my trades, and don't get FOMO. Do not subscribe to my newsletter just because you have FOMO. I've talked about this stock before, the stock that I bought yesterday. Subscribe to support the podcast. It's a yearly subscription. I do think the amount is absolutely returnable just based on some of the stocks that I've suggested, like IREN, like WDC, STX in July. GLW and TLN are ones that I put in a portfolio that I will go over. I've given paid subscribers quite a bit this year. Also, look at this. I shared how I've beaten the Alpha Picks portfolio with my own personal Alpha Picks portfolio. Okay, I used their picks, but I add to the winners, and I cut the losers down to the holding percentage until they start to show winning. And yesterday, I got an alert on my largest holding, which is, I think, 16% of my Alpha Picks portfolio. It hit resistance. I brought it up on this podcast many times. So don't think you're going to get anything additional from, subscribing. You're supporting the podcast. But again, if you're interested in that kind of stuff and you have, I think it's $190 for the year, it makes sense. And later this year, I'm going to do a review of the 2025 predictions that I did. Okay, I did that back in December of last year, and I'll make them public. Just I'll wait a couple of weeks or so. And the beat the S&P portfolio, this is what I told people. Hey, I will put together a portfolio that should beat the S&P. It was just, it's never guaranteed. Well, it's almost doubled the S&P since it came. The S&P during the time when I announced it, the S&P has been up 14%. Okay. This stock portfolio is up 22%. And by the way, I have done nothing. This is just sit and hold good companies for the year. This stock portfolio that you see in front of you, I have made one trade this year. One. No buying, no selling, just one buy. There has been no sales in this. So no work, you sit and chill. So again, do you need all these tools? No. Do you need my newsletter? No. But you do need the knowledge to set something like that up. And again, if you're not up 24% year to date in your portfolio, I can tell you my portfolio's not. I would have been far better having this portfolio. It's doing nothing. You're literally sitting there and you're beating the S&P. Will it do that long term? Probably not. You probably need to trade in and out of stuff. So I got a letter from Seeking Alpha's CEO yesterday about their AI model. Okay. I show this off sometimes, and I will show this off later. I don't know the difference between Seeking Alpha Pro and Seeking Alpha Premium. I will tell you, I think Premium is the sweet spot, because Pro costs $1,900 even with the Black Friday sale. So he gives some great examples of why Seeking Alpha platform is better than a regular AI. Okay, I'll include the newsletter I'll include this letter in the newsletter if you're interested. But again, I want to point out, I know for a fact that a crash is coming, but I don't know when. And in the roaring 20s, Benjamin Graham turned $400,000 into $2.5 million. That's the 20s. Imagine $2.5 million in the 20s. After the crash, the 2.5 million turned to just 375,000. Okay. In his memoir, Graham wrote about how hubris was the cause of his losses. At 31, I was convinced that I knew it all, or at least I knew all I needed to know about making money in stocks and bonds, that I had Wall Street by the tail, that my future was as unlimited as my ambitions, that I was destined to enjoy great wealth and all the material pleasures that wealth could buy. I thought of owning a large yacht at a villa in Newport racehorses. I was too young to realize I had caught a bad case of hubris. That's the market we're in today. And I don't think, again, I've lived through dot bomb. I traded through the 2008, 2009 housing crisis. Hopefully, many of you survived COVID and were able to do that one. I can guarantee you, absolutely 100% that a crash is coming. I can't tell you when. And when Michael Burry says me then, me now, oh well, it worked out, it will work out. He's telling you a crash will happen, and it will. He was years early. The market can last longer at a higher price than you can being out of the market. It's not about timing the market. It's about being in the market. So understand there will be a correction at some point. The discussion will revolve around when. Some big tech gainers in 2025 may be liquidated by big shareholders. Okay? Like crypto. Crypto focus stopped with Bitcoin, Ether, and other tokens. Crypto will go through cycles. And with huge gains, I think you're going to see a pullback at the beginning of 2026. Why? It's capital gains. It's, again, a strategy that every investor and portfolio manager uses. They wait until January to take their capital gains so they have money to invest next year. If you have to pay your capital gains in April, then you don't have the full year to actually invest that money and make money. So let me give you a couple of theses, okay, on a couple of big stocks. If you feel like AMD, Nvidia, Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, and others are spending way too much on AI, what about Apple? Okay, what about Apple? They're not spending the money on AI. They haven't spent a dime on AI. In fact, they lost all their talent on AI. They've been measured and they're at all-time highs. They closed at all-time highs yesterday. This is a stock that's not spending on AI. Will this stock be brought down if the market crashes? You bet it will. But we've seen with the hyperscalers that are sent, I mean, look at Meta. Meta's been taken down to the shed because they're spending on AI. Apple hit its highest closing price in history yesterday. And what do they do today? They launched these things. These things. I mean, they literally have launched knit iPhone pockets. And the price is $149 for your little sock pocket and $229 for the long pocket. Again, maybe these things become the hit of Christmas, and maybe like their wearables division, it becomes its own S&P top 5 company because that's how big Apple is. And let me throw out another thesis for you on a widely held stock that got hit yesterday because SoftBank sold off their Nvidia. Okay? Did they sell in a panic? No. SoftBank sold their Nvidia stock. Why? Because they needed to buy more Nvidia chips. They needed liquidity. So they were just looking and they said, we're going to sell off this. Why? They own ARM. Okay? They own a lot of competitors to Nvidia. But they make no mistake, they are buying Nvidia chips. So is Nvidia a good buy at all-time highs with earnings still coming up? 4-hour algorithm got you out. Did I get out? No. I see that 183 providing support. Now, if it doesn't and we get down to the 160s and all of a sudden, AMD's growing at 50% instead of 80%, the thesis changes. But again, they're selling their stake to buy NVIDIA chips. Okay? Now, let's go over earnings because there is some earnings coming up this week. You know, we got Cisco tonight, which should be a good one. Serve Robotics, D-Local. You got Disney tomorrow morning. You know, is everybody sick of paying for Disney? Are YouTube subscribers, YouTube TV subscribers, are they fleeing to sign up for ESPN, the bundle? Maybe. You got Bitfarm and SBET. You got ONDS. Then you have NewScale. I will be going on tomorrow with Trendspider going over AMAT, Applied Materials. Let's take a look here in Earnings Hub. We can take a look at this. The earnings last time they reported $2.48. I'm sorry, they reported $2.35. No, they reported $2.48. So they beat, and they beat on revenue. Now they're expected this time $2.10. The revenue $6.68 billion. So it's actually down expectations. So I wanted to look at this, and I said, you know what? Let's go into Sidekick. And let's look at this. And so you have a limited amount of Sidekick. I have 25 per month. I don't want to spend it on something that's not, not very useful. I have 25 examples per month. So I went to Perplexity Finance. And I literally said, I have Trendspider Sidekick AI, and I want a prompt to look at AMAT earnings tomorrow. Can you help me come up with a prompt that will allow Sidekick to look at the stock chart, the fundamentals, the past earnings reactions, and everything I need to know about tomorrow's earning risks and potential rewards? I literally just copy and pasted that into Sidekick. So let me give you a couple of key points that it brought up, okay? It goes over the daily technical analysis, and let's pull up AMAT right here because I want to show you this. If you look at the daily, okay, it says the daily trend uptrend established September low of 156. The stock rallied 54% since September, and it's now pulling back. Let's go and look at this. Yep, you see, under the 200-day, and it's shot back up. Key resistance, $241, which is a recent high. Resistance, remember, that's the top. Analyst targets, 250. You're trading at 230. And their target is 250. Is the risk worth the reward? Key support level, 223 to 225. That's the November low tested today, meaning yesterday. Consolidation zone, $209 to $210. So if it gets down there, it wants you to get out. I identified 213 as mine. Current position testing support at 228 after a 5.3% decline from the November 5th peak. Again, we're on the downturn. You don't have to be a genius to do this. This is simply asking Sidekick. Okay, the volume, recent days showing elevated volume, 6 to 9 million, above the 50-day average. Pattern, rising wedge, breakdown possibility, lower highs forming. Then it looked at the weekly chart. Okay, stock uptrend from August lows. And let's just put this over to weekly. Where's the August lows? Right there. See the August low right there, August 25th? Structure, higher lows pattern intact at 223. Again, that level of 223 is showing you what price. Candlestick pattern, bearish engulfing plus large red candle equals 5% drop. November 11th, doji indecision at support. It gives you the fundamental metrics. Okay, and again, this is all included in Trendspider, 25 messages per month with your subscription. And it goes over the past 4 quarters, price reaction. 11% down the next day, 14% next session, sold off. Initial pop 169, then it faded. Price action around earnings, the key pattern. AMAT consistently beats estimates but sells off post earnings. Again, the best predictor of the future is the past. The last 2 quarters saw minus 11 and minus 14% drops the next session. Buy the dip. Price action around earnings. Pre-earnings typically rallies into the print. Did not happen this time. It's down 5% this week. Post-earnings, sharp sell-off despite the beats, likely on guidance concerns or China exposure. It goes over unusual options activity. It goes over the analyst ratings. It goes over major risk and headwinds. It goes over upside driver and catalyst. It goes over near-term catalyst. The guidance will be Taiwan Semi reported strong October revenue, positive for equipment demand. Risk reward assessment, bull case plus 15 to 20% to 265. You're trading at 230. That's the bull case. Base case, minus 5% to $217. It's bear case, minus 15%. You're going to set your upside, your downside. That's it. And it did it. Summary, AMAT heads into earnings with mixed technical setup. Strong uptrend from September, but recent breakdown from highs. Key risk, China exposure. And it goes over all the pattern. I thought you might find the post-earnings price action particularly interesting despite 8 consecutive beats. The stock sold off after Q4, Q3. Market appears to be pricing in China headwinds and cyclical peak concerns. That all came from one prompt. Now, am I investing in this knowing that there's a sell-off? No, let's look at the 4-hour algorithm, okay? 4-hour algorithm got you out right before earnings with a 44% gain. All of that adds up to be, is it worth the risk and reward? Not really. And so I went over and I just copy and pasted the exact same prompt into Seeking Alpha's AI. It didn't give me as much. Gave me great fundamentals, and that's what Seeking Alpha can do. Okay? So Trendspider mixed in the fundamentals with the chart. I like Sidekick a lot better than the AI from Seeking Alpha. Again, the two put together, it's priceless. Just priceless. Because we can go over here and we can type in AMAT. And we can see from a rating standpoint, it's a hold. Has it been a buy? No, it's been a hold this whole time. So it hasn't necessarily changed. You can see the valuation has actually gone down. Why? From 6 months ago? Well, 6 months ago, the stock it was down 37%, and the valuation has gotten even worse from 6 months ago. The growth, it's about the same, a D plus versus a D. The profitability, the same. The momentum, it's been better. It's a B. Why? Because you're going up. Now, the revisions are worse. They're actually taking it down from an earnings per share and a revenue. They're pricing in China. So with all of that in your mind, do you want to buy Applied Materials before earnings, or would you like to wait until after earnings when it's actually maybe down? Again, look at the weekly chart. We can just put a line here. When the MACD is at that level, what typically happens? It goes down. And this goes back to 2021. And we can put a line here on the RSI and say, hey, what happens when this is up this high? Typically, you're seeing pullbacks in the stock. So again, these tools are there to keep you out of making mistakes. It's not just there to make you money. It's there to try and evaluate your risk and return. So if you have any interest in these, I will tell you, these Black Friday sales will not last forever. They start today. Linktree is where you get them all. Trendspider, the top 2 links are where you want to go. Okay, the first one gets you Trendspider, and that tool is I just showed you the benefit of that tool. It is phenomenal. And then the second link here on Linktree, it takes you to the bundle deal. And I've shown you over the weeks or over months how the Seeking Alpha pick, how I scalp that one on the day and I make a ton of money on that one. And then I just pull it back as it starts to lose back to its holding percentage. So there you have it. Again, the tools are out there. This may be one big sale for you, one big show about sale. But I showed you also, hey, Apple's got a great thesis. AMD has a great thesis. And NVIDIA has a great thesis. So I brought up individual stocks. I also mentioned several stocks that I gave to paid members over this year. So if you have any questions, again, Linktree is a place to go. It's even got my email address. Sign up for the newsletter as well. The newsletter, this song says it, that you listen to every day. Sign up for the newsletter. Let us help you grow. It's just me. But again, the newsletter is free every day. You can get it every day for free, and it has tons and tons of material. So if you don't want to invest in the tools that I use, go and take my newsletter that's free and go and grab some of the stocks that I recommend and do your own analysis. Because I like Sidekick, I am staying away from applied materials today. And I'm going to bring this up to Mike on Thursday. Hey, Sidekick looked at this thing. So if you have any questions, hit me up. I will talk to you tomorrow. Okay, bye. Sock pockets. I saw that, and there is going to be some douchebag out there with those apples. That's going to be what are those handbags that the girls wear? That my girlfriend's son hangs out with the son of that one of those bag designers, and they make a fortune. I mean, they just make a fortune, an absolute fortune. So I'm gonna buy another stock today, by the way. Buy the dip. I'm gonna buy the dip. We'll close down that. Desktop. I'm gonna bring this over here. There we go. Boom, boom. Colorize a little bit. Okay. Bring this in. And green screen. Copy. Ooh, no. Green screen. Now let's see. We're gonna link that up there. Oh, why did it put me at the end? Let's cut it towards the beginning. I should go into Canva and do that. Memes my pants. Yeah, Minivari. I mean, the greatest Minivari, Vernie C. NBC. This is the greatest clip of all time.
Welcome. Good to have you with us. What caused you to short the market on September 13th, or short the S&P?
Well, the way stocks have been acting, and there was a lack of participation, we saw a big divergence.
This is from October 15th, 2021.
And the indexes sort of masked that. So you have the NASDAQ moving up, but it was moving up on less and less names that were above their long-term moving.
He's brilliant, by the way. Just absolutely brilliant. But this is how I'll always remember him.
But the percentage of stocks that were above the 200-day were well below 50%.
You're back almost to closing that position out. Did you make money on it?
Well, we were up on it, but I decided to go an all or nothing bet on this one. So once we're at a profit, I think the S&P came up about 5% after I shorted it. And now we're backing up to my break-even point. So if it hits my break-even point, I'm out. It's basically an all or nothing bet.
Remember, this is October 2021.
All right, in my notes, it says, we have not yet sounded the all clear or green light to get aggressive on the long side, though you have some picks, and I'm going to get to them in a minute. Do these tactical moves mean that you are
Does it go into
market timer or not?
I'm more of a stock timer than I am a market timer. Even the market calls that I've made a lot of market calls.
He's a trader.
Peg tops and bottoms with some accuracy, but I'm not really looking at the indexes per se when I do that. I'm looking at the individual stocks, and then
it doesn't go into it.
Be invested in the market or out of the market, and that's I sort of de facto.
Oh, they didn't shame him. CNBC Upstart. We'll put that in because that's going to come in. We'll go videos. This is it.
Now include Upstart. That is one.
So, well, Upstart's up about 25% just in 4 days. That's a good looking name. Very powerful, very strong earnings. These stocks are.
What do they do? I don't even know them. What do they do?
Excuse me.
What does Upstart do?
Well, I'm sorry.
What kind of company is it?
Yeah, I'm not. You're breaking up.
Yeah, he wasn't breaking up, FYI. He wasn't breaking up. Minervini didn't know what Upstart was. He had no clue what Upstart was. So, I mean, that's the deal on that one. Okay, we're going to put in that. You know what? I'm going to go into Canva. We're going to do this, make a copy, and then we're going to open this one, and we're going to take that out, and we're going to put in Seeking Alpha. No. Command. I think I've got okay, and I'll share. Let's say this one. Bring this back here. Oh, I gotta bring that. No, this. Animate. Wipe. That's what it is. Wipe. Right. It's a wipe. There we go. Now let's look. No, why isn't that? Dog is snoring. No, we're gonna animate this. Speed. There we go. Share, download. We'll just do 1080p. There we go. Oh, let's see. Apple's down 1%. That was way up yesterday. Goldman Sachs up 2%. Goldman Sachs has been a great one. Eli Lilly up over $1,000 again. I mean, that's a $900 stock that just, went up over 1,000. Uber's a $100 stock. It's at 94. That clip is legendary, Chris. I love that thing. Let me get this, and we'll go to downloads, and I'm going to import that there. And we'll go back here, and I'm going to put this in here. Green screen, copy. And then we'll put this. And then we'll copy that. And we'll put this.
Okay, say you own the trading desk.
And
So why do I want to stay in it? Again, if we have a downturn in the market, between those two tools, Trendspider with the 4-hour algorithm, and then the bundle here with Seeking Alpha Premium and Alpha Picks, where you can add Alpha Picks.
okay. That's good enough. Oh, let's export file. Next, and we're gonna name it. Where are my notes? There are my notes. Do 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 do. No, Keo, by the way, or who asked? Did I buy Palantir? No, in that portfolio, Keo, in that beating the S&P year-to-date portfolio, does not own Palantir. I mean, well, I don't care. I mean, let's see. Savvy Trader. There's the stocks that are in here. VOO, QQQ, Amazon, IBIT, Tesla, Credo. It's got a 4% cash position, XLF, XLK, TLN, GLW. So it does not have Palantir. Yeah, I thought it was funny yesterday, Chris, by the way, when you looked at the U.S. equity sectors. Yesterday, the market's open, so I couldn't look at it yesterday. But look at the past 5 days. They're all up. Every sector's up the last 5 days. 1 month, consumer staples and utilities are the only ones that are down. Year to date, consumer staples is the only one that's down. The biggest winner, technology. I mean, technology overtook utilities and consumer services. I mean, it's kind of pointing to there's either going to be a big bubble kind of burst, and I'm down today by a lot. Wow. I'm down a lot. Why am I down? Let me see. Alpha Pix is up 0.5%, so it's underperforming. I bet it's Apple. Yeah. In my brokerage portfolio, I'm down 5 figures, and 98% of that is Apple. So, if you own QQQ and, I mean, the majority of VOO now is Mag 7. So, let's go over and you know what? I may just want to use the Black Friday sale. Let's see. I may just want to use this one. Yeah, I think I'm just going to use that one. I think we're going to customize that. So let's go. We'll close this and we'll go to Canva. And let's maybe yeah. That's the fear that I have is hold on. Should I use this one? I don't know. Yeah, let's just download this one. Download this. Let's see what happens. Let's see, Canva AI. We're going to use upload. Download, and we're going to use this image. And we'll say copy. Text at the top and insert this text as the title. It's a YouTube thumbnail, so be sure to make the title stand out and use appropriate sizing. Let's see. Let's see what it does. Sidekick is getting so much better than anything else. Finalizing your design. Oh, I actually like that. Ooh, it came up with a couple of good ones. I like that one. Use Canva editor. Oh. Can I go back? I don't know if I can go back. Let's see. there's got to be a history. Let's see. There we go. That's probably it. Yeah. Okay, and I like this one. Use Canva editor. There we go. I like both of these. So I like this particular copy. And I like this. I don't. Okay, we're gonna. Yeah. Perfect. And we're gonna edit this real quick. Erase. Let's see. There we go. Done. I don't own QUBT, Steve. I mean, I don't know if that makes a difference, but my quantum play is Google, NVIDIA, and so I don't. I mean, does it have a revenue? B, what, Oklo reported last night, they don't have any revenue. They just announced a huge loss. So, I mean, that's I don't really have any thoughts. I would, honestly, if it were me, I'd probably be looking at Sidekick. That just did a great job. I don't know if you saw it, but it did an amazing job with AMAT. Oh, I need to. Okay. We have to edit this one again. Magic eraser. We're going to erase this. Erase. There we go. Done. Investing tools. We're going to shrink that down. Okay, it is bolded. Let's put in Trendspider and Seeking Alpha. Trendspider. We're gonna put in this. Backward. Let's just make them both black. There we go. And we're going to group that one. And we're going to put in Seeking Alpha. And we'll do this one. And group. That's what I want, I think. No, I'm just going to do this way. We'll center that. We'll do elements. And we'll make it black with a little down transparency like that. Group. Let's position forward. And put this one position forward. There we go. And you know what? Ungroup. Let's see. Take that out. Ungroup. Take that out. That'll work better. Okay. Group. And there we go. Oh. I guess. Is there applied materials? Logo. Let's get this one. And let's see. Yeah, I think I mean, my thought on UBT is not that it's a bad stock. It's that it's probably a trade. So, I mean, go and ask, you know, I don't know how it's responded to earnings. I don't know what its earnings are. I mean, for me, it would be a trade. My long-term quantum plays are Google and others that actually have revenue. I'm not YOLOing into QBT. And Oklo is kind of the same thing. IONQ has no revenue whatsoever, I don't think, but you can make money. Again, no revenue doesn't mean you can't make money in a stock. It just means that you have to understand that there's risk involved. And if the risk fits your profile, then that's great. So that would be my take on things. I don't think that me saying, hey, it's a bad thing is, you know, me saying I don't own it means it doesn't fit my risk profile. That's all that means. 100%, that's all that means. And so I don't want to influence anyone's opinions on it, because the stock market is not an absolute. It's a debate. It's an open market. And sorry, I'm just making sure that my network is actually working. And it is. Okay. Let's see. I do want to applied materials. Is this going to work? Let's see. And let's put this in here. Uploads, upload file, applied materials. I should probably say, yeah, I can probably, let me use this. And let's put this in here. And say, do and let's see, applied materials. We'll put this up here. And elements, put that back there. And let's just see. Put this position backwards. Let's make it black. Group. Let's move this down here. Copy. That's good enough. I spent enough time on this. Gotta know when to fold them and when to hold them. Okay, creators.spotify.com, new episode. Nebius is under 100. Wow. I should have listened to the 4-hour algorithm. Got out with a 1% loss. But that one's a long term. Again, my risk tolerance is I am very willing to lose money in ones that make sense long term. Let's see. No. I don't know what that is. There's a lot of noise out there from a plane or something. Oh, that must be one of the big bombers taking off. YouTube thumbnail. Wow, it's already 10:14. What are the Black Friday offers? Let's see. We've got Seeking Out Premium 20% off. We've got Alpha Picks. And save $100. We've got Seeking Alpha Pro. %. Alpha Picks Seeking Alpha Bundle. I think you save over, let me see. Save over $200, yeah. $200. Okay. Sales are live. Get the Okay. Copy. And then episode summary. I'll put that down there. And copy. We're going to do a new video over here. Upload videos. Off to Buffalo. Enjoy the cold weather, Chris. I have friends who are going to a Buffalo Bill. First, they're going to a Pittsburgh Steelers game in late November. And then they are traveling up to a Monday night football game in Buffalo. That's, to me, is just nuts. But I am not going. I was invited. I flew the white flag, and I said, I am not interested. Okay, we're going to do this. A/B testing. Let's see. Oh, he was just here. He was just here in Atlanta, Chris. I heard good things about the show. Okay, and this one is going to go into B right there. There we go. Set test. Let's edit. For the first time, I think Spotify is going to come out before YouTube. The falls are awesome. This time of year, bundle up. Make sure. If I would stop by, what I did, I stopped by Walmart and I picked up a couple of ponchos. I think they were like $6 or something. They have them at the local Walmarts and stuff because people go there. Do not go to the falls and buy the ponchos. If you're going to do the boat, I think they give you a poncho. But you're going to need a poncho. You absolutely will need waterproof glove, like skiing gloves. And a jacket that's waterproof, because you will get wet. I mean, that's the basis of it, is you will absolutely get wet. Publish. Okay, so we've got Spotfiy up and running. Now I've got to do this. Copy. Gonna bold that. Gonna bold this. Oh, no. Why did it do that? And that is seeking alpha premium. Copy. Take that out. And then seeking alpha bundle. Copy, paste, and seeking alpha picks, copy, paste, seeking alpha pro, copy, paste, and we're going to bold that. We're going to bold this, and we want to make sure that Linktree is working. And we're going to take that out. $900. There is no way that's got. Okay, let's see. To take this out. $300, no way. $290. There's no way. That's where all of it was. That's where it all is. Okay. Let's just copy, and let's see. Episode summary. Yeah. Okay. We'll just leave that there. Oh. I actually went up there one time on a business trip. I was working for Earthlink, and the Time Warner Buffalo division called us up and said, we need to talk to you. And so I said, okay. Oh, YouTube. Is it going to tell me I've used too many assistants? I need to upgrade to Pro. Okay, next. Monetization on. Next. Spotify pays so much better. I don't know if it's because I have so many more viewers on Spotify than on YouTube, but I think I make about $1,500 a month off of Spotify, and off of YouTube it's maybe 90 or 100. So, no, let's do set an instant premiere. Publish. Do an instant premiere. So, okay. And with that, I am out of here. Yeah, Nebius is under 100. Wow. Let me see my portfolio. Apple has kind of come back a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, I'm down far less than I was. But yeah, my Trendspider guy, Nader, is on he's saying it's selling off. Let's look. Oh yeah. Oof. Look at Meta selling off again. I mean, this is clearly if we go back, let's just look at a weekly, because where is the support here? It's at 549. So, yeah. I mean, if that gets under $600, that is just, for me, I mean, that's in a sweet spot. Wall Street still has their price target at 841. And if we just chart, select metrics, let's just do the valuation. So the valuation right now, the PE is at about 27. The last time, let's look at April 26th, 2023. April 26th. So the price was around 250 conservatively. You're paying for the same earnings as in at 250. You were paying literally for the same earnings. I'll take it at 615 all day long. Considering they can grow up there, but okay, I'm out. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. See you. Bye.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My